Welcome back, comic book fans. It's Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and in today's episode, we continue with our series of videos from the 2024 Baltimore Comic Con. And in this episode, we actually have the third in the line of several videos where I meet the creators and get my books signed. And the reason I'm doing multiple videos on this is because it would end up being very long if I put all the meet and greets in one episode. So I'm breaking it down into smaller groups, and this is the third part inside of this 2024 Baltimore Comic Con series of episodes. And in this episode, I get to meet 3 different creators, and I made this a small group this time because I actually spent a little time with each one of them. Well, 2 of the 3, but I wanted to be able to show you all the books that I've got as well, and I didn't want these videos to go too long. So sit back and enjoy the footage, and I'll be right back for the show and tell. Okay. That's fine. I've got 9 books here.
Wonderful.
How you doing?
No, not him. He's not my buddy. No, he's not my buddy.
Mirá lo que encontré, José. Esta tiene una historieta tuya del año 70. Firmada y todo.
Jose, sorry. Give us one moment. Thanks.
Okay, give me one moment.
This was a lot of fun collecting all of these.
Hi.
This is the owner of the South Carolina company.
Hi. Michelle, Fred, nice to meet you. Okay, wonderful.
These are like modern books with vintage covers, with the classic artwork.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's new or if it was old. Is this new? Was this new artwork, or did they?
No, it's a classic artwork. But, I mean, the comics are new.
The comics are the brand new ones,
So
yeah.
when you open,
Okay.
when you open the books, there are new stories.
They're the new stories from right now.
Stuff.
Over the last few months, actually.
So it's like a variant cover.
They actually have if you open it up, it actually has the regular cover on the inside. So they put this on top of it, actually.
Like a tribute to the master. It's okay.
Rob, Michelle and Rob. Okay.
Well deserved.
How long have you guys been going?
I was waiting for the rest of the Justice League. We need Hawkman and Atom and a couple of them like that, right? Black Canary.
And I work for them too, so I try to.
Oh, okay. All right. And so this potentially would be for the April show? Okay. Yeah, I would say sometime over the next week, send Jim a note, tell him that you checked in with us at the show and you'll follow up. Okay.
Thank you
Good
so
meeting
much.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Of course.
I'll see you around.
All right. Take care.
I'll kiss you when he's not busy and tell him a little bit about it.
Okay. Wonderful. Nice meeting you, Michelle. Take care. Man, we're busy.
It's one of my favorite covers here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Jose, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Esto no necesito que me lo firmes, simplemente te lo quería mostrar.
Thank you.
I mean, are they being graded?
No, these are for me. Just rolls.
Okay.
It's what I said to you down there before. It's like book of the year.
Thank you.
I mean, that's the story of the year. I mean, really.
Thank you.
Joined this year by stars Flash Gordon, stars of The Flash, as well as the Aliens movie. John Wesley Shipp, Sam J. Jones, Daniel Cash, Chip Goldstein, Mark Wilson, all of them here to meet the feature. This is an interesting professional photo ops, including the legendary Supernatural. So I hope everyone's having a great time. Check out the fun.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good luck with everything.
Scott,
How's it going?
hey, how are you?
Pretty
You got
good.
the glow in the dark one, eh?
Yeah.
Red. I haven't signed any of those. I have 2 of them here, but I haven't signed any of them.
How's things been?
Busy. Look at my commissioning.
Oh my God, that's great.
And then a lot of them are like multiples, 2, 3, 4 commissions. So I'm like, shit. And this poor guy has been hovering because he's leaving, and I don't want to keep him held up anymore.
Oh, I heard there was another guy, one of the other tables is like, Al Milgram was having to finish something, so it may have been the same guy. It's like, he's leaving today.
And I'm like, oh no. Not that I have anything against that, because I know tomorrow we're going to get a lot more of that, which is why I'm going to have to take all this shit home and finish it tonight. Luckily, my home is not too far.
That is true.
See, we're going to get breakfast at Miss Shirley's tomorrow. Hi. I love that place. You've been there?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's right down at the end of Pratt Street down here. I usually get down real early and park in the garage right next to it and walk over. It's
Nice.
to an office building, and down in the bottom, they have the best breakfast ever. It's phenomenal.
Nice.
You got these waffles that'll just knock your socks off, or if you really want just the most kick-ass yogurt parfait, like protein mix, whatever, I don't know. It's really good, and I get it every time.
Have to keep it in mind.
Yes, so good and affordable.
You heading down the Third Eye again anytime soon?
I'm supposed to go down there. Tony told me, he said, I set up a date for you at Third Eye. I was like, why the fuck aren't they calling me?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, it's part of his Feral World Tour.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, why am I doing it and not you? And he's like, oh, because I'm not going up there. And I said, fair, I guess. But yeah, I'll be back there at some point. Like, I'm surprised I didn't go back there when the trade dropped.
Yeah, I would have.
Just the paint.
Yep, I would have expected it just because at Third Eye, they really seem like they try to bring some people in when it's a launch of
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, but I think I haven't had anything like huge launch, and that's probably why. Like, it's been the same book, and maybe that's why. But like, I've had the Disney books and everything going the whole time, and it's just, I don't know. They also have guys like the Philadelphia fella,
Yeah.
Rodney, and they also had Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder's coming in.
He's been in a couple of times.
He was just in,
Yeah.
and I
I went down there to see him, and of course he don't remember who I am. But I saw him in San Diego. He looked at me like I said, hey Scott, because we were on a panel together. And I said, hey Scott, how are you? And he's like,
No clue.
nothing behind them eyes. I was like, you're lucky. You're lucky you're famous, dude. But that's okay. I'm horrible with people anyway. So I didn't put that on them. I'm bad with names. I'm not bad with faces. I can recognize who I've talked to before. Some people walk up to me and they're like, you don't remember me. I'm like, I remember you fine. I just don't know your name. I know who you are. I'm just the freaking worst with names. Sure.
Well, I appreciate this, and I'll see you next time you're down there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be down there at some point. I know Tony's setting dates up for me now, so I'm like,
Good.
okay, man. I guess do I owe you a management
Yeah, I was going
fee?
to say you're going to have to pay him now.
Right? I was like, do I owe you a management fee? Not on purpose.
Not on purpose, exactly. All right, Trish. Thank you. I'll see you later.
All right, so the first artist today is Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, and he has legendary DC artist, probably never got the acclaim that he really deserves, I guess. I'm not really sure. Got some great books, absolutely stunning books, big artists from the 70s, early 80s, and recently over this last 6 months or so, excuse me, I'm losing my voice again, guys. DC put out a lot of DC books with variant covers with his character designs from some of the key DC characters. And let me just get into it. And you've seen these on the channel. I've talked about it. If you follow the channel, you know I've talked about getting every one of these signed. So let's just get into them right here. We've got Batman issue number 150 that had just come out. But here's the cover. And I'm going to have to put them sideways so you guys can see it. Let's see if I can do that right there. And it fits, and you can see he's signed down there at the bottom. You've got these character studies that just absolutely stunning. You get to see different angles of the characters. This is Batman, of course. But there was a whole series of these, and I swore I was going to go get these signed, and they were only asking for $5 a piece on these, and all that money was going to the Heroes Initiative, to the fund, so I had no problem donating to that, especially for, as I said, $5 a piece. But he did I'm not even going to get into the issue numbers because, quite frankly, I'm not reading most of these DC books, but I love the covers. You've got the Superman cover right there. You've got his signature right there. Here's the Flash. That was really nice. It's actually nice and centered right there. And here is Shazam. And what's cool about that one is he actually left the cape on right here, but he made it transparent so you could see the muscles in the back and how that would work as well. All right, let's put these down because, as I said, I got 9 different books that I ended up having Louis sign. Here is the issue of Green Lantern. Excuse me. Green Arrow. Sorry about that. And then speaking of Green Lantern, there's this one. And he signed over the Green Lantern logo right over here. And then last but not least, definitely, is his rendition of Wonder Woman. I think it's probably one of the most beautiful renditions of Wonder Woman you can find. And it's beautiful because he signed right there in the center. Isn't it gorgeous? So I was happy to get all of these books signed. I didn't have a real decent conversation with him only because of the language barrier. But I did mention I would have really loved to have seen him be able to do some of the other Justice League characters like Atom or Hawkman. I think those would have been really good as well. I think from our conversation, you've picked it up. I think this art actually came from the early 80s for something that he did. And I'm not sure what it was. I never did look it up to see if where this exactly came from. But my impression was that this is not new artwork that he had just done, that this was old artwork that they pulled to put into this. So it'd be curious to find out where this came from originally. Again, the language barrier prevented me from really talking about that to him directly. But these were not the only books I got Jose to sign. I had been saving these as well because these are just some really good books. The covers are fantastic. Here is DC Comics Presents number 67, where Superman teams up with Santa Claus. It's just a beautiful cover right there. And you see his signature down here at the bottom. And then one of my favorite covers of all time from him was this right here. It's Action Comics number 484. This is the marriage of Superman and Lois. This, of course, I think the original Superman. I think that's the story in here. It's not our normal or regular day today's Superman. It was the Golden Age Superman. I believe that's how that worked. And he signed right up here next to Action Comics, right up there. So that's what I got Jose to sign. But then I moved over to someone who basically, as I told him in the video, and I apologize for that part of the video with Stanford Green, was that he had the book of the year. I mean, you tell me if there wasn't a bigger book this year that just jumped out and just grabbed everybody. I mean, it shocked everybody how good it really was. And that was Doom, the one-shot. And this is the Annie Gravov, if I'm pronouncing that right, cover to this. But I got Stanford to sign that. He signed right here. And on this one, he actually signed in black down there on the... It's really hard to see. Although in person, here it is, right there on the armor, you can actually see it a little bit better. The paint pens that he was using on the previous copy of this did not have enough ink, I guess. It didn't have enough flow. It really doesn't pop like I really wish it would. The black right there, as I said, in person, it looks actually better because it kind of pops off of that, but it doesn't pop off the screen right there. But I did get the second print done. Right there, he signed down there in the logo. You can see it there a little bit. And let's put these down. And he signed the George Perez variant right there. He had a kind of a pinkish pen that he was using. And I wish more artists would take the time to test their pens before they just start putting their ink to your comics. There are artists like Steve Epping who took time to check his pen to make sure the ink was flowing right. No, Sanford Green didn't do that. He literally just takes the pen and just starts going, and then he realizes, oh, the ink's not flowing, and then they start to go over their own autographs, and it looks like crap. Same thing happened with Don Rosa with one of his, and like, it's a personal book, but you kind of don't want your books mangled up like that. So didn't quite like that this would have really popped if that kind of pinkish pen that he had really popped and was flowing right. This would have looked fantastic. Then he turns around and uses that same damn pen on the Hildebrandt's variant of Doom #1 up here at the top. You can't even pick it up there. I'm looking on the screen and you can't even see it. It's right there. You can see it right below my finger. Like, take a moment and grab a black Sharpie and sign up here. I mean, that's all you have to do. But you're in that moment and you don't, what are you going to say? I guess I really need to be a little bit more aggressive when you want people to sign with certain pens. And when you leave it up to them, it's your own fault because you didn't say something. So I guess it's my own fault for not saying something ahead of time. But it is what it is, and it's still signed, and it's still a really good book. And it was good talking with him for a moment, and I apologize. I was filming awfully at that moment, so you didn't get a good shot of Sanford Green there while he was signing. Obviously, the camera was angled badly, but I did want to share that with you guys. And then the last artist that I went to is somebody that I've met multiple times, and I've got a story about her, and that is Trish Fer. And she ended up signing, let's see what we got here. We got the first issue to Feral #1. It's the Virgin copy. And I got this right after she had done a signing with Tony Fleeks at Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, Maryland. So I didn't get the Virgin copy. I picked this up like a week later. But I did get issue #1 signed while I was there. It was the launch party for that book. Of course, she is the artist, and with the team of her and with the team of her and Tony Fleeks, it's the team from Stray Dogs. They're doing Feral. It's an ongoing series now. But I did pick up issue #2. Got her to sign that, and this is a glow in the dark issue. And let me see if you can pick it up. Yeah, you can see it a little bit there in the light. There is a glow in the dark embossing ink on there that it's not a Virgin. It actually does have the trade dress. It's just in a blind emboss type of situation right there. And she signed both of those. Now, I did have a lot of Stray Dogs books left over, but they're all duplicates of duplicates at this point, and I didn't feel like abusing her and everything at that point. I've seen her. She's actually local to the Baltimore area, and she does signings on a Third Eye all the time. So I'm hoping that she and Tony Fleeks will actually come back as a pair to Third Eye like they did the last time. It's kind of cool to get both of the creators signed at the same time, because what they'll do is they'll match their signatures symmetrically. Usually one will put one in one spot, and then the other will put one matching it in a similar area on the book. It's kind of cool. But Trish is somebody I really like, because I went to one of her signings when Stray Dogs came out, got some books signed. It was great. And then sometime after that, Scotty Young came to Third Eye Comics, and as I'm standing in line, who gets in line behind me but Trish Fer? And I'm going, why? I should have brought some of your books. And she said, well, she actually had a variant to one of her Stray Dog books that Scotty Young had done the cover to, so she wanted him to sign his cover to her book. And I thought that was cool, but what was cooler was she didn't assume that just because she's a comic creator that she could just walk in front of everybody else. She actually got in line and spent time in line with us, and it was cool talking to her. And this was a couple years ago now, and at the time, she had not planned on going down to Heroes Con a couple years ago. But Heroes Initiative did reach out and ended up bringing her down a couple years ago. So I got to see her down there with Tony Fleeks, which was really cool. So that was fun, spending some time and getting to know her on more than just as a, standing across. I just said, Lisa, my wife, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be using, but it was cool getting to talk to her and talk to her about some of the insights of how they go about getting variant covers, how they get contacted about doing signings, things like that. So that was awfully cool, and it was cool meeting her again at the Baltimore Comic-Con. But guys, that is it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next video in this series of meeting the creators. The way it looks, I think I've got 2 more left, and then we'll move on to some other parts of the Baltimore Comic-Con. But again, if you enjoy this kind of content, definitely give me a like, hit the subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the episodes that I put out each and every week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. And definitely leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of the books I got signed today. And if you've gotten any books signed by any of these creators, I'd love to know myself. So just leave me a comment down below. All right, guys, I'm out of here. You have a great day. And remember, every comic has a story.